Hey, how's it going? Saturday morning, which means I'm really tired. It's so strange how Friday is such a weird night. If you have friends or family members that want to spend time with you or hang out with you, then usually you stay up later than you usually do on Friday nights than you usually do on the weekdays. But if you don't have friends, or if your family is kind of not really, you don't feel good, or your family upsets you, I know some spiritual leaders don't like that term, but a Disney Channel movie said it best. Life is about spending time around people that make you feel good. And if you're around people that don't make you feel good, please do the healing work to get away from those people. And if they're your family and you can't get away from them, it's hard. It's hard. So if you don't have friends, which many of us in the trauma community and the mentally ill community don't have, a lot of us don't have friends. That's okay. I don't have any friends. And I'm okay with that. I could have a few friends, but they don't make me feel very good when I spend time with them. So I choose not to spend time with them. It's a choice. I could have a few friends, but it's like, do I really want to spend time with people that are caught up in the wrong things? Or talk badly about other people? Or always have issues and they think I'm their therapist? It's like I'd probably rather just spend time in the woods looking at a leaf. You know? For me, it's kind of a no-brainer. At least me sitting in the woods looking at a leaf is peaceful, and I'm happy. And a lot of us from mentally ill homes with mentally ill parents, from poverty, from trauma, a lot of us, we want to be friends with people that are beautiful, loving people. But a lot of those times, those kind of people don't want to have anything to do with us. And I know a lot of people will be like, oh, but it's true. I've dealt with that kind of thing my entire life. A lot of people made fun of me or picked on me because I was poor. I was, poverty. And we had no money. We were so poor that we lived in this shed. And it was me, my mom, and my sister. And we were so poor that we couldn't afford a mattress for me. So I slept with my mom for 2.5 years, and my sister slept on the top bunk. And I slept on the bottom bunk. We didn't have an oven. We only had a microwave and a refrigerator. And we were so poor that the only thing that was in the refrigerator for 2.5 years was apple juice, hot dogs, Cheese Whiz, and a turkey that my mom was allowed to cook at her sister's house, my aunt's house, every weekend. I couldn't go to the bathroom. I remember I would go 7-8 days in a row without going to the bathroom. And finally, when I found alcohol, it made me so happy because alcohol made me go to the bathroom. And it was the greatest feeling in the world. Remember, I started drinking. I was like 9. 9 was the first time I got drunk. I remember, and then I was able to go to the bathroom. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. I could go to the bathroom and it feels so good. So I started drinking. And one of the main reasons was not to numb the pain or to cure my unhappiness, but it was just to go to the bathroom. Because we were so poor, we couldn't afford good enough food to make me go to the bathroom. So when you're from that kind of home, and I couldn't afford new clothes, new shoes, all my clothes and all my shoes were 2 years old. They were hand-me-downs from my older cousin, so I had to wait for him to get older so I could have his older clothes, because he was always bigger than me, because he was, you know, say he was 15, I was 13, he was 9, I was 7. So I would always wear his clothes, and they'd always be 2 years old, and I'd wear his shoes, and they'd be 2 years old. I don't know if I wore his shoes or not. I think we got most of my shoes from, like, those racks where they're tied together, and, you know, like really bad shoes. So, you know, so people would make fun of my shoes. People would make fun of my clothes, and when you come from that kind of poverty, a lot of people are mean to you. You know, they pick on you. You're not included into the cool groups, and it's very difficult. It's very difficult. And then thankfully in 5th grade I got good looking, and everybody accepted me because I was good looking, regardless of my hand-me-down clothes. I dated the 2 most popular girls in the 5th grade class, and all the guys wanted to hang out with me because I was dating the 2 best girls in the 5th grade class. I was the first person to French kiss another person in my school. You know, nobody French kissed yet, and I did. Maria Napa, shout out. And, but if I wouldn't have been good looking, you know, there's no escape from poverty. As Alanis Morissette would always say, God help you if you're an ugly girl. That was an actual lyric from Alanis Morissette. That's some pretty dark stuff from Alanis Morissette. For those of you who don't know who Alanis Morissette is, she was a singer back in the 90s. But when I heard that lyric, I was like, man. And that's the kind of pressures that we put on ourselves. Like, being good looking is so important. Do you know that when you see a good looking person, this is crazy, this is evolutionary, millions of years of humans living together as a culture. When you come across somebody and they're good looking, whether it's their face, their smile, their body, whatever, you immediately get a dopamine rush where you become instantly happier. Isn't that crazy? We actually get happy when we see a good-looking person, an attractive person. And that's why catalogs, music, media, movies, TV, that's why everybody's good-looking. You think most people are that good-looking? No, man. No, man. Most people are, you know, people. Then again, there are some strikingly good people out there, good-looking people out there. But, you know, it's weird how we don't get to choose what good looks are. Millions of years of living with each other chooses what we think is good looking. Body type is different because everybody's different. Men that are hungrier choose to desire larger, bolder shaped women, and men that are full and eat and then are full tend to like more petite women. They've done thousands of studies on that. That's weird. Well, I don't know if they've done thousands, but they've done it with thousands of test subjects. So even if you're full or if you're hungry, makes you choose what kind of woman you want to be with in that moment, right? Very strange. Women that are on the pill, you know, you probably know this is getting into mansplaining, but when you're on the pill, you're attracted to a different kind of guy. And then when you get off the pill, you're not attracted to the same kind of guy. So if you meet your husband or your fiance or your boyfriend and you're on the pill, and then you get married and you get off the pill, so you could have children, you might not even like them anymore. You might be like, this guy's a complete dillhole. What the hell was I thinking? Why did I marry this guy? I don't even like this guy. So that's another thing, right? That's weird, man. So you could look that up. My sister told me about that one. My sister tells me most of this information you hear. She's very TED Talky. She listens to a lot of TED Talks. Anyways, but getting back to it, yeah, being poor is pretty insane. And so when you're poor, you can't choose the friends that you want to be with. You know, you're excluded a lot. You're not accepted. You're rejected. And sometimes you're picked on because you're not wearing the cool clothes or the cool shoes or whatever. And that's a big issue in our culture. It's so important for us to have the right shoes and the right outfits and the right look and be a certain way and look a certain way. And if we're not, we're excluded. So what do? We try our best to be good looking and have the nice shoes and have the nice clothes and have the nice makeup so we can fit in, so we can feel loved and accepted by our peers. Especially if we're not getting love and love and acceptance at home. If you're not getting attention at home, if you feel neglected at home, if your love needs aren't met, if your attachment needs aren't met at home, in the home, by your mom or dad or both, then you're going to seek it outside of the home with your peers. And what is that going to draw you into? How I look, what I'm dressed in, what my face looks like, what shoes I'm wearing. And that's going to become your life. So the more and more we give children the love they need in the home, the less they'll look for that affirmation or that acceptance or that love on the outside of the house by their peers. So that's why it's so important to be present so you can be loving. Because a lot of us are distracted. Especially with the inventions of cell phones. A lot of parents now are even just as distracted as the kids are, where they're at home and they're constantly on their phone. And if you're a kid and your mom or dad are in the kitchen and they're on their phone, and you walk in and you see them on the phone, you're just going to walk away and go back in your room and talk to your friends on your cell phone in your room. So the house is completely separated. There's no love there anymore because of these cell phones. And I'm not anti-cell phone. I just see the separation they're causing in homes and the divide they're causing with children and people not feeling loved and paid attention to. And especially when a person's speaking with you. When you're completely present, they feel you listening to them. There's this real connection going on. You're not thinking about what you want to do or other things that you would like to do. You're just there with them. And in that space, they feel listened to and nurtured and loved and cared about. And it's a real thing. They've done studies on this. When people are present, you feel that connection, you feel that bond with each other. And this is the dangerous thing. The more and more people watch movies, and the more and more they're on cell phones, the shorter their attention spans are getting, and the harder it is for them to actually be with somebody. They want instant gratification. They want to be instantly entertained. You know, I make 14, 19-minute videos sometimes. In certain countries, the average watch length is, let's say, 4 or 5 minutes. In other countries that are less cell phone based, the average watch time is 5, 6, 7 minutes, right? And I know this because it shows me all the countries that watch the videos that you're watching now on my YouTube channel. My YouTube channel is watched in like 20, 25 different countries, something like that. Like Portugal, Hungary, some island in the middle of nowhere. I don't even know where it is. I'll have to find out the name of it. And they give me average minute watch times in every country. And the highest percentage watch times are in Hungary and Portugal and Canada of my videos. Now why is that? Is it the content? Or is it that those people in those countries like Hungary, Portugal, Canada, they have an attention span that could hold longer than the people in the US? Because the people in the US, their rate of watching my videos is a minute less than Hungary and Portugal. Right? And that's very interesting. And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that we live in the new world of instant gratification and cell phones and wanting like quick dopamine hits. I want to be entertained right away. Give it to me, give it to me, give me my entertainment, give me my happiness. Where is it? And Hungary is part of the old world, you know, where it's cold and people have to chop wood and people are starving. So they're like, this man makes a lot of sense. Him talking about being not good looking and being poor. Because I know what that's like because I'm from Hungary, you know. So they watch my videos longer than Americans. I think it's really cool that people from Hungary watch my videos. I think it's also cool that Gabor is from Hungary. Shout out, 1953 soccer team. By the way, Hungary had the best soccer team in the world in 1953. Best. Better than Brazil, better than Portugal, Spain, Britain, everywhere. Hungary had the best soccer team in the entire world in 1953. That's weird, right? Better than Germany, Holland. Football. Best football team in the entire world, 1953. Fun fact. So anyways, I hope you're having a great day. Sorry for that long video. But I think it's important to talk about these things because they are very important. Also, on a side note, this morning I was hugging my dog and I was incredibly present, and I was kissing him on the face and he was licking my face, and I felt this beautiful bond between us because I was present and I was in the most perfect form of love. There's no such thing as perfect, but. And I was like, that felt so amazing. I should give him a treat now because of that love. And then I'm like, wait a second. You're giving this dog a treat because you had a love connection with him, right? And that made you happy in a weird way. So every time this dog makes me happy, I'm going to give him a treat, right? So if I give this dog a treat at any time for any behavior, then I am going to make this dog a slave to him making me happy. And that's going to take him out of his original being, because he's going to make himself in such a way where he is going to get that treat because he wants that treat, because it tastes good for him. So he's going to act more loving to me to get a treat. But that's not his natural being. His natural being is just being whoever he is in the present moment. If he's loving, he's loving. If he's sad, he's sad. It doesn't really matter. But I don't want to control what his true being is. And by giving him a treat, I would be controlling his true being, his authentic self, his true self, the present moment, right? And in the present moment, he could be happy, sad, whatever. But by me giving him a treat, I'm forcing him out of that state of being his true self, his true being, the present moment. Because now he's working for me. Now he's working where it's like, ooh, if I act loving and I kiss his face and I lick his face, that means I'm going to get a treat. So he's got a gimmick now. Now he's fake. Now he's not his true self. Now he's working for me. He's a slave for me. He's working for me to make me happy. So I didn't give him a treat. And then I thought about school teachers and parents and our entire culture and how we need to give up praising. Because every time you praise somebody or give them something when you like what they're doing for you, or an award or a trophy, whatever it is, you are forcing them out of their true being to work for you, to make you happy, to make the culture happy. What do the people want? What does the culture want? Forget about what I feel. Forget about what my true being is, or what my true nature is, or what my true self is. I'm now working to get these things, these instant gratifications, or these things that will make me feel loved. But we need to stop that. We should just give love because it's coming out of our true self. And we're only giving that true love for a person in their original form. Whether they're sad, happy, whether they lose, win, doesn't matter. That's why Lao Tzu said the winners are the losers. Kobe Bryant's dad, after Kobe Bryant's first game, Kobe Bryant scored 0 points. And he was defeated, and Kobe Bryant looked sad and depressed and everything like that. And his father went up to him and he said, Kobe, he said, whether you score 60 points or 0 points, it doesn't matter, because I love you no matter what. And that changed Kobe Bryant's entire life, because there was no praise there. There was just open love and acceptance for what his true being was, which was no reward system. I'm not going to give you, gratification or praise for anything. Nothing. I'm just going to be here with you and love you unconditionally. And Kobe Bryant said that changed his life, because he was no longer afraid to fail. And now he could live in his true self. And that's why Kobe Bryant didn't really need anybody. I love Kobe Bryant because he reminds me of me. He does not need anyone. He could be with himself in a field forever. When he plays basketball, he doesn't listen to music. He doesn't anything. He's just present. And he is a very big believer in the present moment and Zen. Huge believer in that. And so is Phil Jackson. Coach. Anyways, sidetracked. All apologies. But yeah, so I believe that we need to give up praise in this culture and just love people just for being their true selves. No praise. Just be with a person. Doesn't matter what they look like. Doesn't matter what they act like. If they're acting harshly, or if they're acting, in a hurtful way, or if they're acting in any way that is hurtful or dangerous or anything like that, or passive aggressive, it's very helpful to understand that they're in that state, the trauma state, the pain state, because of their childhood or because of what they heard and what they felt in the womb. And the fact that their attention needs weren't met, and their attention, love needs, whatever it was, wasn't met. Or their parents were too hard on them, or they were abused, or they saw things. Whatever it was, whenever you see somebody like that, that's in pain and that's hurting other people, they're stuck in the trauma. They're not the present moment. They're their past. They're their childhood. They're still in the womb. And they don't understand what they're doing because they're still in the trauma. They're still in the mind of the past and the childhood or in the womb. Or what happened to them yesterday. And you have to look at them and you have to just get curious and be compassionate and loving. And just be like, I completely understand, because they're in their trauma. I don't dislike them. I don't think anything of it at all. I just know that they're still in their trauma and they're not present. Because whenever you're not present, you're in your trauma. Whenever you're not present, you're in the past or in the future or worrying about something or worrying about the future or thinking. Whenever you're not present, you're not here. And the only way to be loving and compassionate and empathetic towards others is to be here in this moment, present. And that's where true love comes from. Because now when you're present, you're connected to all things, and that gives you the ability to love all things. Zen in 26 minutes. Have a great day, guys. Thank you so much for everything.